Hello, YouTube. I'm back. It's been a while since I've done a review, so gonna go ahead and do this one. I went to MegaCon. It was pretty crazy and crowded, but it was a lot of fun. If you've ever been to a comic convention, you know this thing was huge. And I got this Full Metal Alchemist keychain. And I got the shirt. Let's check the one that best describes you. So, I also realized that I had fans there. Hey guys, I following up on my promise. At Comic Con, often you find indie comics, and those are independent comics. They're not like Marvel or DC, but a lot of times you'll find really good stuff. And and I was actually given two comics for free under the condition that I review them on YouTube. So I am following up on my promise. So I'm going to go ahead and review the first one on this list, and that is Students of the Unusual. And this one's really cool because this one's got a DVD inside with Students of the Unusual content. And it's made by Three Boys Productions. This is the giant-sized extra credit special. And it's just a series of really kind of cool stories. They're mainly set in Florida. They're mostly horror. Some of them are adventure. Just a lot of mystery going around. So let's go ahead and do this. All right. This is it's a compilation of different artists with different stories. The art is surprisingly good for indie comics. I mean, you'll often find indie comics that are very good and a lot of really good artists, but this one is exceptional. It's very exceptional. And then you have kind of a quirky, funny panel with Elvis Angel protecting a son for some reason. It's kind of funny. And then you've got this really kind of cool. This one's kind of chilly a little bit. This one's kind of creepy. And it's not like this is just one standalone comic. No, no, sir. This is a series. There's others. There's others of these. I was given this one, the biggest and probably very very well done. They've got that art style, and then you've got this one. So I'm gonna go ahead and read out one of the stories. It's first one is King of the Road, and that's by Terry Cronin, Jorg Calamato, Dave McHargue, and Gary Scott Betty. Homeless philosopher and storyteller Uncle Pat and his three young friends decide to help a man who has a severe skin cancer on his head, a cancer that is sentient. And then the next one is These Days. Recal Recal Recalcant Jones and his band of undead rock stars rescued their souls and were rewarded. The angel Elvis now works for heaven and needs to take care of business. The next one's Fountain of Youth. After the Bobby Boy restart their lives under the bridge. The destruction of the star slash the return slash the tinkerer. The gold-toothed windsurfer has awakened from his coma in the hospital, and his dream world appears destroyed. The next one is Strangler. A serial killer stalks the streets of Dark Harbor. And the last one is Ghoster. Artist and teacher of sequential art Dave McHargue asked his students at the Savannah College of Art and Design to illustrate the story by Pat Martin. Of the 15 entries, the work of Amy Ramis was selected to be published. This is definitely some hard this is definitely some hard work put into this. It's very good. They've got a DVD and everything. One thing that kind of threw me off is in the first story there were some kind of points where it jumped around. For example, there's one section right here in which the character of the doctor, is visiting this woman, and her reflection, she just said, jumped out of a mirror, and then you see this doctor, his mirror jumps out at him, or his reflection jumps out at him, and the very next second, he wakes up, he finds it was a dream, and that's kind of the end of that story. And it kind of carries on into a completely different own story that was set originally. So I'm going to go ahead and give Students of the Unusual a 9 out of 10. It's very well drawn, very good. So that's Students of the Unusual. Woo! Next one, Rift Door. Now this one was kind of interesting. Uh, right here, this is Rift Door. And this is kind of an interesting story. It's an interesting backdrop. What it is this character, his name is Riftor, that's all he's called. Um, he was a human, and he was kidnapped by by this trainer, by this combat trainer. Here's the art. The art is very well done. Riftor was kidnapped by an alien combat trainer, and he was taught how to fight and how to propel energy from his body, an aura from his body that he could use to harness special powers. And that's kind of cool. That's really kind of cool. Uh, Riftor, right here, suddenly realizes in his home planet, in a whole flashback, that's kind of the main thing. This is saying the whole premise. Um, is told that the Earth is extinct, and later he discovers that it's a lie, and so he desires to go back to Earth. So this is kind of definitely a pretty interesting idea. It's very creative, and it's very well drawn. Very well drawn. I give max points for art. Uh, you wouldn't, by looking at this, suspect it's an indie comic. Uh, it is, so he comes to Earth, he finds this doctor who gives him a special suit which helps him contain his aura, and, suddenly a bunch of soldier militants come in, break in, right here, and they start shooting up the place. The doctor takes Riftor back to his home, and, where he and his daughter meet, and I have a feeling that the daughter is going to be a love interest for Riftor. But Riftor just wants to regain his humanity, pretty much. So he's fighting to survive, because the alien race that captured him originally is now after him again. They want him back, and he just wants to stay on Earth, regain his humanity. So it's not only a fight to survive; it is a fight for him, internally. It's a battle on two fronts. The dialogue, it's very good. It's very well drawn, and the storyline is very deep and compelling, and it really wants me to read more. The one thing that kills this comic, unfortunately, is the dialogue. It is set in a modern day time, but oftentimes you're reading something like it would be out of a medieval text. And I'm not saying that's bad, that kind of works for this. That really kind of works for this. But it kind of eventually kind of lose the feeling of more human personalization, I guess you could say. I guess that's the right word. It feels less human and more like a story. And I think that's what it was aiming for, or something. But, with the battle going on internally, trying to regain humanity, it kind of loses that with the dialogue. But, again, it's very well done. It's very well drawn. Compelling story. Riftor, the True Warrior, gets an 8 out of 10.